Hi friends, this is Muhammad Gibran and welcome to our C# tutorials. In this video, I am going to explain you about the arrays. So what are arrays? Well, as you remember, we had compared our variables, the definition of variables, to the buckets, okay, small buckets. Now, if the variables are buckets, then you can consider arrays as big drums or barrels, which can hold the values or the content of many buckets into themselves. Okay, so having been said that, let's create something which explains you more about the arrays. So whenever we used to declare some variables, we used to do something like this, like number. Okay, now I've declared a variable with the name number. Now I will declare an array of the name numbers. Okay, now what makes it different from the variable is just simple this thing. Okay, I have an opening and closing square bracket in front of my data type, after my data type. Okay, now it says create an data type, integer data type whose name is numbers. Okay, and then after that you just need to do equals new int, and here again you have to type the square bracket, and you just need to give the size of the array. So as all the barrels have a limited amount of quantity or the capacity, so our this barrel, the numbers barrel or the numbers array, can have the quantity of 5 variables. It can store the value of 5 variables. Okay, so what I will do, now I will, whenever we wanted to assign the value for our variable, we used to do equals whatever number we wanted to give it to them. Okay, now when we are assigning the values for our array, there are very different methods to do that. Let me show you one of them by just typing the number, our array name, and starting from the 0. Okay, why 0? I'll explain you that in just a moment. Okay, 4 3 2 1. Okay, so here we'll say done. So what I did over here is I have declared an array of size 5. Okay, so now it has the size of 5 variables, but as you can see, the last number of our array is number 4. Why? Because we are starting the arrays from the number 0. The first value of arrays is always 0. The initial value of any array will be 0 always. So the total value in your array will be the maximum number which you gave minus 1. Why? Because we are starting from 0. Okay, so as you are, I hope that you people don't know anything about the programming, so for those guys it will be somewhat difficult to understand this thing, but as you move forward you will understand what is this, why we start from the 0. Okay, so just get used to it, it's not a big deal. In the upcoming videos you will understand it more perfectly. So now if I were to type out the value of my array, what I will do is I will say sol.writeLine let me print the third value numbers, second value I would like to print. Okay, so now if I do this dot, let me just run it and show you what happens. So here is our output. As you can see, 25 is getting printed. Why? Because 25 is only on my is on the address, okay, of my numbers variable at the position number 2. And what I did over here is, in my console dot write line, what I wrote is numbers 2. So what are this 1 0 1 2 3 4? You can take it as the positions or the addresses. It's not perfectly the addresses, you can take it as their positions. Okay, the 0th or the first position in the number variable will be given to number 5, second position is occupied by 15, third is by 25, fourth, and so on and so forth. Okay, so these are the position numbers. If you would like to print any of them, you can just do that. Now suppose if I wanted to print all of them, so what I will do is I will do something like this. I will write this console dot write line method for all of them. Just go 3 4. Okay, so now if I just try to execute this program, what happens is I can see all of the numbers 5, 15, 25, 35, 45. Okay, that's fine, our program works very fine. So but if you remember from the previous classes, we always try to reduce our code and not to write the repetitive code. As you can see over here, we are repeating the same statements. So what could be another way to accomplish this task? So if you remember the previous video, using that we can accomplish it very simply. What we can do is we can just write a simple for loop for this task, saying for I said for tab, and then here is your syntax for the for loop, and here I will say my numbers. Okay, this will be my numbers variable, or I will say just 5. Okay, fine. I should increment, and I would like to print my console dot write line. What I will print is numbers I dot toString, and here it is and there it is. Okay, so why I? Because I begins from 0 and goes till 4. Okay, the value of I will not exceed 4, because as you all know, this increment and conditioning, and whenever the I becomes 0, the 0th position value will be printed. When the I becomes 1, the first position value will be, second position value will be printed. 2, it will print the second value. 3, third value. Fourth value. Okay, likewise it will move on. So let me just execute it to see if our logic works. As you can see, we get the same thing: 5, 15, 25, 35, and 45. So that's the reason we use this for loop, and we try to learn the looping techniques, because it makes your work very simpler. Okay, so we were assigning the value and now we printed it. Or else you can use this same for loop and do something with this value, and you can assign those values. As you know how to assign the values, just take them inside of your for loop and you can assign those values, then you can print them. You can do a lot of stuff with your looping techniques. They are very useful. Okay, so now let me show you one more way to declare your values in the array. So for that we will not need this, and I will just create one opening and closing curly brace, and in that I will write 5, 15, 15, 25, 35, and 45. Okay, now we don't need this, and we will run our application, and hope everything will work fine. And yes, it does works fine. 5, 15, 25, 35, and 45. Enter, and it gets closed. So as you can see, what we have accomplished over here is see, in only one line we are declaring and assigning the values in our array, and using just 3 lines we are doing the printing also. So as the time goes on, please try to learn more about arrays, or if you have any doubt, do let me know. And hope you like the video, and thanks for watching it.